Hello, my name's Alex Hutchinson. I'm a freelance IT director and strategic IT consultant for law firms and barristers' chambers. And in this video, I want to talk about some of the challenges I see when law firms have a developer or a development team within the firm and they're spinning the wheels and they're not getting the progress that they feel that they should be making. In line, or the return isn't in line with the perceived investment. So typically there's people, cost, resource, time associated with these development projects or teams, and if you're not getting what you need from it, you need to try and rectify that. So let's just give a couple of scenarios, because one would be there's an IT team, or there might be an outsourced managed service provider, an IT and infrastructure kind of team, small within the firm, and then there's a developer that works as an extension of that team to just do specifically these tasks of optimizing your case and practice management system. Or there might actually be a dedicated separate small team that's focused solely on development that might involve project management, training, technical delivery, the development itself, software development. So in these scenarios, I've seen a number of cases where these type of teams, unless it's the large firms that seem to be in an arms race for technology and differentiation in that area at the moment, small and medium-sized firms tend to evolve into this position. So they tend to find they're settled in a case and practice management system. They know they want to start optimizing certain areas of practice, maybe starting with higher volume areas or areas that are causing issues to do with file opening, onboarding, risk and compliance, anything around that. So they make a decision to start, and they either bolt on a developer to the existing team, or they evolve and grow a team around project management, developers, technical skills, trainers, and try to make progress in this area. Time passes, and the costs are still going out every month, the resource is still there every month, but in terms of reporting into the board, getting sight of what's going on, when things are going to happen, seeing progress, which takes time, but knowing and having the confidence that the right people are in the right seats, the right roles are there. We understand as a firm why we need these roles and who's in them and how it will be working and what's the methodology that's being used to be confident that progress is being made and the money's being invested wisely. And that's a lot of that comes down to this reporting and having the right structure and methodology in place for ensuring that when this time and resource is invested in certain areas, so when they go off developing something, we know that there's going to be a return on investment for it and why we're doing it. There's a lot of cases in firms where they don't even do kind of a financial analysis or a justification of why they're going to do a piece of work. It's who shouts the loudest, who gets the most priority, and there's a battle for resource that goes on. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is this can be common if firms have any level of development resource within their firm. Now, what I want to talk to you about is that there are ways to rectify that, and it's normally by reviewing the project management process and methodology that takes place, having an understanding of what the different roles and responsibilities are that make a successful project, understanding how that resource is applied and what their roles are and what's important, and also what makes an IT development project a success, the 5 phases that are important, starting with, why are we doing in this and what's the return on investment, how are we pulling together the business requirements, how are we then confirming those back with the users, how are we then developing the software to meet those requirements and getting it signed off, and how are we then delivering the bespoke training rollout so that the user adoption takes place. And a lot of the time, because these roles evolve and the pressure, the workload floods into them and the requests flood into these departments, they get overwhelmed and bombarded and they struggle. And if you have a firm, or if you're a firm that's in that position and you'd like to talk to me about how I can either coach and mentor existing members of the team to change the position, improve the reporting, ensure that the right people in the right seats, ensure that the right methodologies are being used, that are only simple but follow the right fundamental principles, then I'd love to talk to you. Feel free to reach out if that's a problem for you. Take care.